Today, we are going to dive into one of the most incredible ideas in all of biology, organization. You can think of it as the secret blueprint that explains how every living thing, from a single cell to, well, you, is put together. So let's get into it.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. You feel like one single person, right? But you're actually a walking, talking community of about 37 trillion individual cells. How is that even possible? How does all that potential chaos get organized into a coordinated, living being? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out.
To really get it, you have to picture life as a massive construction project. It's a journey that starts with the simplest materials and builds up, step by step, into something incredibly complex.
And here's that journey, laid out for us like a ladder. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the cell. That's our basic building block. Then, similar cells band together to form tissues. After that, different tissues team up to build organs. Those organs then work together in organ systems, and finally, all of those systems running in harmony create, well, a complete organism. See how each level is built right on top of the one before it? It's an absolutely amazing structure.
Okay, so let's start where it all begins, at the very bottom of that ladder. Let's look at the foundation of this whole thing, the cell. Because, and this is super important, not all cells are the same. So, even though pretty much all the cells in your body have the exact same DNA, they go through this process called differentiation. It's like they go to school to become specialists. They turn certain genes on and others off to develop unique tools and shapes, what we call adaptations. They basically become experts at one very specific job.
And just look at how perfectly a cell structure matches its job. It's incredible. A nerve cell needs to send signals a long way, so of course it grows a super long axon. A red blood cell? This one is amazing. To make more room for oxygen, it actually gets rid of its own nucleus. It can't divide or repair itself, but it makes that sacrifice to be the best possible delivery truck. Even in the plant world, a root hair cell grows a long, finger-like projection just to grab more water. This link between form and function is just a masterclass in efficiency.
Okay, so we've got our specialized cellular workers. But what's the next step up in our big construction project? Well, it's all about teamwork. This is where we see how these cells come together to build bigger and better things.
And that first level of teamwork is called a tissue. It's pretty straightforward. A tissue is just a group of similar cells, all specialized for the same job, all working together. You can think of it like the muscle cell department or the nerve cell department of a company. And by the way, this isn't just an animal thing. Plants are doing it too. Animals have muscular tissue for moving around, while plants have things like xylem tissue for transporting water. But the core idea is exactly the same. Group your specialists into functional teams. Now, what happens when you need different departments to all collaborate on a much bigger project? Well, that's when you get an organ. And this is the key difference, right? A tissue is a team of similar cells. An organ is a team of different tissues all working toward one common goal. The heart is the perfect example. It's not just a lump of muscle. No way. It has powerful muscle tissue to do the heavy lifting, the pumping. It has epithelial tissue that acts as a protective cover. And it has nervous tissue that acts like a conductor, coordinating every single beat. It's a beautiful collaboration of different specialists. So we've climbed the ladder from cells to tissues to organs, but, an organ can't just operate in a vacuum. So for the final level, we have to connect all these amazing structures into systems that keep the whole organism running smoothly.
And that brings us to an organ system. This is a group of organs that cooperate to perform the big, complex jobs. And you know these systems well. The digestive system for breaking down your food. The circulatory system for moving stuff around. You get the idea.
But here's the truly mind-blowing part. None of them work alone. They're completely dependent on each other. So just think about this. Your respiratory system, your lungs, they're working 24/7 to bring in oxygen.
But that oxygen would be totally useless, just stuck there, if it weren't for the circulatory system, your heart and blood vessels acting like a high-speed delivery service. To get that precious fuel to every last one of your 37 trillion cells, it's a completely integrated network. Each system relies on the others to do its job. And we're not just talking about 2 or 3 systems. In the human body, you've got about 12 major organ systems. The immune system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, all constantly talking to each other, all collaborating to keep you alive. It's an unbelievable feat of coordination. So that brings us to the big "so what" question. Why go through all this trouble? Why is this whole ladder of organization so fundamentally important for life?
Well, it all boils down to 3 huge benefits. Number 1, efficiency. When a cell has only one job to do, it gets really, really good at it. Number 2, specialization. This creates a division of labor, so not every cell has to do everything. And number 3, coordination. This teamwork allows for complex actions like thinking or running or digesting a meal that would be completely impossible for any single cell on its own.
And really, it comes down to this simple, powerful truth. Without this structured, layered system of organization, complex life as we know it just couldn't exist. It is the absolute blueprint that makes everything from an ant to an elephant possible. It's a beautiful, elegant, and surprisingly tough system. But all this leaves us with one final, pretty important thought. If all of life is built on this perfectly balanced ladder, what happens when just one of those steps starts to crack?